think a lot of the concerns tie into what Gail's just mentioned in terms of just the broader challenges that schools have in terms of being able to engage parents. So as we keep saying, every school is unique. So we've noticed significant variation, I guess, between the 80 schools that we're working with in terms of how they engage parents. So primary schools are already often doing a lot more and find that a lot easier, and because you've got parents there twice a day doing pick up and drop off. In secondary schools that can be harder. Also looking at for specialist schools, like a lot of our specialist schools have very little contact with their parents. Their catchment areas are often really large. Students are often arriving by bus, so they might only see parents maybe once a year. And then also the difference between our Catholic and independent schools and government schools as well. So the parent night that I mentioned that we presented at last night had really great attendance, but it was also 3 independent schools where perhaps the parents are a bit more invested in turning up when you're paying significantly more for education. So yes, I guess then that variation. Some schools have some concerns around, I guess, the backlash of doing respectful relationships, but I must say that's been less than what I expected it to be when we first came into this role. And actually we found a lot of the schools that we're working with, and I guess we are sort of working with the earlier adopters of respectful relationships, but on the whole feel quite confident of being able to defend why they need to do respectful relationships and why that's really important. They've got a long history of doing this work, but also other programs such as drug ed and sex ed that they've also had to justify, I guess, and explain to parents. So they're used to having to communicate on that. I guess then our tact has been to get to engage students has then been to really focus on the why we need to do it as the starting point of that conversation. And if you're starting with some of those concerning statistics around mental health and bullying, as well as family violence, as well as gender-based violence more broadly, then really there's, I think, very few parents who wouldn't get that argument and then see the importance of why we need to be doing respectful relationships.